We go to pay and rewards. Please, you have to put your mind here now. So when you talk about pay and rewards, pay is just remuneration. And when you talk about remuneration, you're talking about the reward for work. So how does this become an ethical issue? That is the point. Are you there?
Which
Pay and rewards. How did you do the activity when you didn't know about pay and rewards?
No, which page?
Page 125.
Okay.
Are you there now?
Yes.
For pay and rewards, when you talk about pay as payment, we're talking about remuneration. And for remuneration, what does remuneration mean? It means payment for the work done. So it could be in terms of wages, it could be in terms of salary. But how does this become an ethical issue? That is where we are going. How does pay and rewards become an ethical issue? So they said an important issue here. They said an important issue in the area of business ethics relates to pay and rewards. So remuneration is the reward for work, such as pay, wages, or salary. Businesses use pay and rewards for different purposes. Businesses want to make profit, which is the ultimate aim of every business is to make profit. And when we talk about payment, when we talk about remuneration, it cuts across reducing profit of a business, because whatever profit you make as a business, you're going to incur cost for labor cost. So labor cost is part of the cost the firm or the company would incur. As a result of that, the firm or the company might not make the profit it really wants to make. So why do businesses use pay and reward? What do they use them for? So yeah, like I said, what do businesses use pay and rewards for? The first one, businesses use pay and rewards for the following purpose: to attract employees with the right experience, skills, and knowledge. Jobs that need highly skilled employees attract higher remuneration. So businesses or companies, they use remuneration to attract the best skilled workers available in the industry. Because when you pay them, when your company pays higher salary, skillful employees that are getting less from your competitors would want to work with you. Every worker wants an increase in payment. So nobody would reject an offer that is better than its recent offer or present offer. So every worker would want to say yes to an increase in payment. So businesses or companies, they use increase in payment to attract the best skilled workers available in the industry. Two, to reward and motivate existing staff. The ultimate aim of businesses is to make profit. For workers to be highly motivated, businesses need to pay their staff enough money so that they can work to the best of their ability. So businesses, yes, they want to make profits. But in the course of making profit, you have to think about the process through which you'll be able to make this profit.
Yes.
And to get that done, you have to think about the workers. So the workers must be rewarded, must be paid highly. So if you pay them higher, if you're paying them higher wages, they will be motivated and they can get the job done.
Yes.
So workers that have paid higher payments would have the willingness and ability to do more to their best of ability. The third one, to maximize productivity levels. Pay is an important motivator, and highly motivated staff are more productive. Workers that are highly motivated will be productive. So paying them wages, paying them higher payments, paying them higher salary is a factor that is not to be neglected. So when you are paying your workers higher pay, it will motivate them. And because they are motivated, their productivity will increase, and the productivity of the organization or the company will also improve. Do you understand?
Yes.
So this is payments and rewards. So into the next paragraph, they said businesses need to make profit if they are to survive. Profit cannot be underestimated also, because it's important for a business, as businesses would never survive without making profits. Profit is part of what they use in expansion. profit is a measure of their success. So without profit, businesses might not survive in the industry. Do you understand? Okay. So as a result of that, they said businesses need to make a profit if they are to survive. Therefore, they will try to minimize cost. This will extend to labor cost, and most firms are not likely to pay higher wages if they can avoid it. If they can avoid it there, they wouldn't. Businesses, if they have the opportunity, because labor cost is considered as part of costs that are huge, that takes chunk of the profit made by the business. So if businesses are able to, or companies are able to avoid it, they would not pay higher wages. Generally, it is the role of individual businesses to decide on wage pay. An exception to this relates to low pay in some countries, such as the USA, Australia, and India. A national minimum wage exists. So here, what they're trying to say or talk about is national minimum wage. And in some countries, you cannot pay even lower wages because they will consider it as unethical. So what do governments do? What does government do? Government try to bring up what we call national minimum wage. That means the least you could pay any working officer in that country. So most of the time, the national minimum wage is not even enough for people to survive with. So they start arguing about paying a living wage. Are you with me?
Yes.
So why do we talk about a living wage? We're talking about a living wage because the national minimum wage is not enough anymore to cover up the cost of living. So because the cost of living, most of the people are working to cover up their cost of living. Most of the people are working to pay up their bills. So if they are unable to pay up their bills, that means the national minimum wage is not enough. So that's why there is consideration about a living wage. So what is a living wage? A living wage is that amount of money. That's a payment that is set above the national minimum wage, which includes the cost of living. So payments that has to go with the cost of living. That means it has to cover your cost of living, and it is set above the national minimum wage, is what we call a living wage. You understand what a living wage is now?
Yes.
The wage that is set above the national minimum wage and covers the cost of living. That is a living wage. So with a living wage, individuals will be able to maintain their standard of living. They will be able to cover up their bills because the national minimum wage is not enough. The national minimum wage is just a payment that you could get as the lowest rank officer. That when you think about inflation, when you think about interest rate, when you think about a lot of things, how the economy is moving, the national minimum wage would not be enough to cover up your cost of living. So that's why they are talking about what a living wage. I think it's clear.
Yes.
So yeah, I wrote businesses need to make a profit if they have to survive. Yeah, we talked about that. So however, government regulation forces businesses to pay their workers a fair rate of pay, which should be considered as the national minimum wage. But some argue that the NMW is not enough to cover the cost of living. So businesses should pay a living wage. And I've talked about a living wage. So pay, reward. Most of the time, when you think about payment, though businesses would not want to pay higher salary to their workers because it means their cost is increasing. But when you look at ethics about payments and rewards, it has to be based on different perspectives. You think about the free market, you think about the plant system, you think about the mixed economy. For the free market, they feel profit is important for them. And whatever is going to make them or whatever is going to take them to increase their profit margin, they will do. If it's to employ workers and pay them higher wages, they will do. Do you understand? So payments, rewards are something that has to be decided by individual businesses. What their aims are. It's not what government should decide on. So some companies will pay higher salary to their workers. Some companies will give higher rewards to their workers to make them motivated because of what they really want to achieve. Do you understand? So
yes.
How ethics or how is it ethical or unethical reward and payment will be decided by different perspectives will be decided by the kind of situations or conditions that the company is and the economic situation. Do you understand?
Mm.
Is pay and reward clear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.